Most of the film watching world is familiar with this film, even if they haven't seen it. Among the non-film watching world, you may well be wondering why this is everywhere and why it's got such plaudits and why it won an Oscar for animated film. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it was something to do with the feel of realism, despite the complete lack of realism. And I'm going to explain that a bit further. It's not a realistic animation style. It looks weird and cheap, but it's almost intentionally that way because everything else is done to such a high standard. The sounds feel very, very real and they feel tailored to each situation. You know, I'm talking every single emotion a cat can feel. The meow was different for each one. Also the kinetics, I mean, the way that the camera, which wasn't really a camera, kind of followed everything, it felt like it had been trialed through a real scenario before it was rendered into animation. And those sort of things, for reviewers and critics, those sort of things are so impressive and so uncharted that I think you make the decision very early whether you're going to enjoy the film and lock in properly. Stuff like that matters a little bit less to me. So I didn't love this film, but I can completely recognise, as I've just said, I can completely recognise why people do love it because of those things. Unfortunately, I don't think animals are interesting enough. Real animals, definitely. Tangible animals that I can hug, or Planet Earth, or Blue Planet that I can watch, like real animals, real behaviour. Yeah, I can buy into that. But I just think I need, you know, the non-verbal communication between all these misfit animals. It was a bit like Life of Pi. It was a bunch of random animals going through this apocalyptic flood. It was very, very impressive, and there were relationships and dynamics, but it was, you know, it was complex for animal relationships. If you see what I mean, I think I just like people stories a little bit too much, so I did struggle to get on board with this at times, but I do remember feeling like I was in some sort of trance towards the end of the film. It took me a little while before I realised actually it was onto something. So yeah, this might end up being one of your favourites, but every day I'm realising that I am just one person and I'm not able to accurately recommend every type of film to every type of person.